plans in store for pinballs and some hash. Focus grab my coolies while Conquer grabs the cash. Jetman scorches aliens with heat on his jetpack. There's buildings to demolish and they're bouncing to attack. It's a merry play, but don't dismay if you play it through these games before. We guarantee there's more to see. A bus, there's mass, to vigilance below. Joanna's got a wanted villain squarely in her sights. The Saberman becomes a werewolf every single night. Jeff off.
We're almost ready, tightened in the lights.
Just give a your cameo pinata so the game to know we blew our budgets on the song just so you can play them all. It's a merry day around display for players as a old and new. Over 30 years of laughs and cheers, present, hooray, it's time for merry play.
What's up guys, Optimus Prime Rib here. As you might have guessed from the intro video there, this is Rare Replay for Xbox One. I finally picked this up a few weeks ago after dragging my feet on buying it when it released. And now that I've had some time with it, I'm kind of disappointed that it waited as long as I did to actually get this collection. In a few weeks I've had it, I've had a lot of fun with it already. For $30 you get 30 games. The developers at Rare looked at all their past games, which is like 120 so games, and decided that these 30 represent their past 30 years and how they've grown as developers for the most part. I'd say they did a great job with the game selection overall. The games range from stuff on the ZX Spectrum console all the way up through the 360. As far as the collection goes, you get a pretty good mix of genres. You have 2D, 3D platformers, shooters, racing, fighting, and plenty of others. So if you happen to get tired of one thing, you can always move on to another. I've played a bunch of these games over the years, and they all seem to control just as I remember them. I haven't noticed any sort of lag between the Xbox controller and what's happening on screen. So games such as Battletoads and its rocket bike sections where you really need very precise D-pad control to avoid hitting and smashing into the walls is pretty spot on. I do have to add that part of the game is still extremely frustrating. It's made a lot easier with the rewind feature that they added. The quick pull of the left trigger on the controller, you can rewind. I'm not sure how much, I want to say about 30 seconds back and start over. Overall though, I've found that to be really useful in some of the older games that are difficult. As far as the games go, I found the early games to be a bit of a mixed bag. They're very basic for obvious reasons, given how limited console hardware was back in the early 80s. But the collection picks up steam from there when you get through to some of the NES games. They picked a few of my old school favorites like RC Pro-Am and, like I said earlier, Battletoads. There were a couple Nintendo 64 games like the Banjo games, Blast Corps, Killer Instinct, and Conker's Bad Fur Day, as well as Perfect Dark. Though it's not the actual Nintendo 64 version, it's the remastered 360 one. Overall, it's pretty hard to complain, even though it's kind of disappointing not to see GoldenEye included, but from what I've read, that decision was made due to some licensing issues with it. So, I mean, maybe at some point we'll get it as DLC. I'd be pretty fine with that. All the games have achievements attached to them, and overall the game has 10,000 gamer score, so if you're hardcore enough to power through them all, you can pick up a lot of gamer score from it if you're into that. As a whole, I'd give the collection a 9 out of 10. If they could have found a way to get GoldenEye in it, I'd probably give it a slightly higher score. But at the end of the day, it's a great collection of games, and I can see myself spending many, many hours playing it. And I really can't recommend it enough to anyone who watches this video. I'll be doing separate quick reviews for some of the other newer games, just because there's a lot more to cover in them. Maybe the next few weeks I'll do those, so if you happen to watch this, keep an eye out for those. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching my videos. If you enjoy my review or any of my other videos, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.
Ready.